Who are you really? Just this breathing body, a name written on documents, an identity that fades with time, or something greater, eternal, that existed before birth and will continue after your last breath? What if there were a secret within you capable of revealing a power as great as that of the gods? A secret that dissolves the illusion of separation and shows that your life is united with all that exists. This question has spanned centuries. Masters, sages, and seekers have dedicated their lives to finding the answer. They sought neither wealth nor fame, but only to understand the essential truth. Who am I? In states of deep meditation, these seekers realized that the answer was not in books or temples, but in their own bodies, in each breath. They discovered that, silently, a melody accompanies every human being from birth, the sound of Soham. This is not just a mantra, but the invisible echo that manifests with each inhalation and exhalation. When air enters, a subtle sound vibrates like so. When it leaves, it completes itself in Him. Thus, from the first breath, life is already proclaiming, I am that. What does I am that mean? It means that you're not separate from the universe. You're not just a person with limitations and fleeting desires, but part of the same consciousness that sustains everything. This is the essence of Soham, the union between the individual self and the whole. This truth does not belong to a specific religion. It transcends cultures and traditions. In the Vedas and Upanishads, sacred texts of India, we find phrases such as Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, and Tat Tvamasa, you are that. Advaita Vedanta teaches that there are no two. There is no duality, but a single reality expressed in diverse forms. Think about that for a moment. All your life, you have breathed thousands of times a day, but perhaps you have never stopped to listen to what your breath was saying. It requires no blind belief or dogma, only attention. It is a direct experience that anyone can have. In the yogic tradition, Shiva taught Parvati different meditation techniques. Among them is the invitation to listen to the inner sound that vibrates in the breath. That sound is Soham itself. The Sufis, mystical poets, also spoke of the experience of union with the divine in different words, but with the same meaning, the dissolution of the separate self into the greater consciousness. All traditions, in different ways, point to the same universal truth. There are not two, there is only one. When you integrate Soham into your life, the ego begins to lose its power. The ego thrives on comparisons, desires, and separations. It says, I am different, I possess, I want. This ego generates suffering because it creates walls. But the Soham mantra breaks down these walls. It reminds you, I am that. And in this recognition, you understand that you are not isolated, that everything that exists is part of the same energy. This understanding dissolves fears, reduces anxiety, and awakens compassion. Now, imagine applying this to your daily life. When facing difficulties, instead of feeling alone, you remember, I am part of the whole. When dealing with someone difficult, instead of getting lost in anger, you remember, this person is also an expression of the same universe. This does not mean accepting injustice, but living with clarity and balance. Soham does not eliminate challenges, but transforms the way you see them. Another beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. It does not require hours of effort or special conditions. You can practice sitting in silence, but you can also take Soham with you at any time, walking, working, resting. Just turn your attention to your breathing and recognize the internal sound. Gradually, this becomes natural. Your whole life becomes meditation. With each practice, new benefits arise. Conscious breathing calms the mind, reduces stress, and increases vitality. Constant attention strengthens concentration, making it easier to deal with tasks and decisions. The perception of unity awakens gratitude, and gratitude opens doors to new opportunities because it tunes you into the frequency of abundance. Soham, by remembering, I am that, puts your vibration in harmony with the flow of life. Before moving on, I want to make a special call. If you want to activate this energy now, write in the comments, my breath is sacred. This simple act strengthens your practice and inspires many others to try it too. The ancient masters knew that the greatest secret is not outside, but within. That is why they passed this knowledge from master to disciple, in silence, from generation to generation. There is no need for complex explanations because Soham is experience. The disciple was simply guided to observe the breath until he recognized the truth. Today, you too can access this wisdom. It is not far away. It is happening right now, within you. The most surprising thing is that Soham accompanies us throughout our lives. At birth, the first breath brings the mantra. At death, the last breath ends it. Between these two extremes, Soham never stops. It is the secret music that sustains existence. To recognize this is to remember that life has never been separate, that consciousness has always been one. And perhaps this is the most important point. Soham is not a concept to be understood. It is an experience to be lived. By feeling the mantra in each breath, you awaken to your true identity. And that identity is not small, it is not limited, it is not fragile. It is infinite, eternal, part of the universe. So, starting today, begin with just a few minutes. Sit in silence, observe your breath, allow the sound to appear. Don't force it, don't expect anything, just be present. Over time, this practice will grow naturally, and you will discover a peace that does not depend on external circumstances. When someone begins to hear the silent mantra of Soham with each breath, something extraordinary happens. The mind, previously lost in memories or worries, is pulled back to the present moment. This is the power of Soham, to keep you anchored in the now. At first, it may seem like a simple exercise, but little by little, it reveals a transformative power. Each time your attention returns to the natural sound of your breath, you come closer to the true essence of life. The beauty of Soham lies precisely in its simplicity. It requires no effort, no special objects, and no luxurious surroundings. It is already there, within you, happening all the time. What changes is only your awareness. When you choose to pay attention, each inhalation brings the so, and each exhalation completes with ham. This constant melody becomes a natural meditation, available anywhere and anytime. In the beginning, the mind will certainly try to distract itself. Thoughts will arise, to-do lists, memories of the past, anxieties about the future. This is to be expected. The practice is not about fighting these thoughts, but observing them like clouds passing in the sky. They come and go, but the sky remains. Similarly, Soham teaches that the mind may be full, but the breath remains a constant guide. And every time you return to the mantra, you reinforce your state of presence. I want to invite you to do something now. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the air coming in and mentally repeat, so exhale gently and notice the ham. Just a few seconds are enough to feel the difference. If this practice brought you calm, write in the comments, I breathe awareness. This strengthens your intention and helps create a collective energy current. Regular practice of Soham generates clear benefits. First, the body relaxes. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for restoring balance. This reduces tension, calms the heart, and strengthens the immune system. Second, the mind finds more clarity. As thoughts lose strength, spaces of inner silence arise. In these spaces, intuition flourishes and natural wisdom manifests itself. Finally, the heart experiences more serenity. Turbulent emotions calm down, giving way to feelings of peace and compassion. Soham also transforms the relationship with the ego. The ego always insists on saying, "I am different, I possess, I want." It is this voice that feeds comparisons, jealousy, and fears. But when listening to the mantra, a greater truth emerges: I am that. This affirmation dissolves the barriers created by the ego and reminds us that our real identity is neither small nor limited, but vast and universal. This change in perspective brings lightness to life because it shows that we are all part of the same energy. Over time, Soham becomes integrated into everyday situations. It is not restricted to the moment of meditation. When walking, working, or talking, simply return your attention to your breath to perceive the silent melody. This transforms life into a continuous prayer. Instead of waiting for special moments, you live each moment as spiritual practice. This constancy is what generates true transformation. Another profound aspect of Soham is its connection to gratitude. When someone recognizes that each breath is sustained by the universe, they feel gratitude for the simple fact of existing. This gratitude changes the vibration. Grateful people attract harmony, opportunities, and abundance, not because they ask for them, but because they are aligned with the right frequency. Soham, by remembering I am that, naturally awakens this state of gratitude. And here's another call to you. If this message resonates, write in the comments, "I live in gratitude." This gesture not only strengthens your practice, but inspires others to cultivate the same feeling. Don't forget to like and share this video as well. That way, more people can learn about this transformative knowledge. It is important to understand that Soham does not promise to eliminate life's challenges. Problems continue to exist, but the way you deal with them changes. Instead of reacting with despair, you respond with clarity. Instead of getting lost in pain, you find meaning. This is the greatest strength of the practice. It does not remove obstacles, but offers serenity to overcome them. As the practice deepens, a new relationship with fear also emerges. The fear of losing, of failing, of dying. These fears lose their intensity when you realize that your essence cannot be destroyed. The body changes, but consciousness is eternal. Soham offers this certainty. You are part of the infinite. Recognizing this gives you the courage to live more freely, to love without reservation, to surrender fully to life. This practice also opens space for healthier relationships. When you understand that everyone is an expression of the same energy, compassion grows. Judgment decreases, empathy increases. This does not mean accepting injustice, but acting with more wisdom. Soham teaches that there is no me against them, but only a single flow manifested in different forms. This understanding dissolves conflicts and brings harmony. The essential point is to remember that Soham is not theory, but experience. Reading about it inspires, but only practice reveals real transformation. A few minutes a day are enough to initiate this change. Start small, 5 minutes in silence, observing your breath, then gradually increase. Consistency is key. Over time, you will find that Soham becomes a natural part of your life. Before closing this section, I want to reinforce, if you want to activate this energy now, write in the comments, "My breath is light." This simple gesture strengthens your practice and creates a positive wave that reaches thousands of people. Take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and continue receiving messages of transformation. Soham is not just an ancient mantra, but the very music of life. It has been with you since birth and will be with you until your last breath. Recognizing this is to awaken to the truth that there has never been separation, that you have always been part of the whole. This memory is the key to living with peace, abundance, and fulfillment. Each day of practice is like a new door opening. What seemed like a simple breathing exercise reveals itself as a path to understanding life in its entirety. Soham is more than a sound. It is a living reminder that you are an inseparable part of the universe. This understanding reduces conflict, diminishes fear, and awakens compassion. After all, if each being is a manifestation of the same whole, caring for others is caring for oneself. Now I want to invite you to reflect. What would your life be like if you could live each day with the certainty that you are already complete? Imagine facing challenges without the burden of loneliness, lighter relationships, because there is no more rivalry, only understanding. This is the promise of Soham, to show that you have never been separate, that your life has always been in tune with universal consciousness. If this idea resonates with you, write in the comments, "I am unity." This act reinforces your practice and inspires others to join you on this journey. Soham also changes the way you deal with difficulties. Problems don't magically disappear, but they're no longer seen as enemies. They come to be seen as parts of the same flow, opportunities for growth. Instead of reacting with despair, you respond with serenity. This change is not small. It transforms the way you think, feel, and act. It's like going through a storm, knowing that behind the clouds, the sky remains intact. Another powerful point is the gratitude that comes from this practice. When you realize that each breath is sustained by a greater force, you feel gratitude for simply existing. This gratitude is not just a pleasant feeling, but a vibrational energy that attracts harmony and abundance. Grateful people live in tune with the flow of life. Soham awakens this state because by remembering, "I am that," it reveals that you are already part of the fullness. And here's another call to action. If you want to activate this energy now, write in the comments, "My life is gratitude." This simple gesture strengthens your vibration and inspires many others to connect as well. Take the opportunity to enjoy this video and share with friends. That way, more people will be able to access this wisdom. The practice also affects your relationship with fear. We usually fear loss, failure, and death. But when you recognize that your essence is eternal, these fears lose their power. The body may change, but consciousness remains. Soham gives you this certainty. You are already part of the infinite. This understanding brings you the courage to live more freely, love unreservedly, and truly surrender to each moment. This transformation does not remain only within you. It is reflected in everything around you. People who practice Soham report improvements in relationships, greater clarity at work, and more balance in their choices. This happens because the mind is no longer trapped in constant worries and begins to act with presence. When you live in the now, each decision becomes clearer and more aligned with your essence. The essential point is to understand that Soham is not theory. It is not enough to know that it exists. You have to experience it. Reading inspires, but practice is what generates transformation. A few minutes a day is enough to get started. Over time, this habit becomes natural, and you realize that Soham is always present in every situation. Your whole life becomes a state of continuous meditation. Before we conclude, I want to reinforce one more invitation. If this message has touched your heart, write in the comments, "I breathe Soham." Subscribe to the channel like, and share. In this way, this wisdom can reach even more people who seek light and balance. Together, we can create a network of positive energy that transcends borders. Soham does not promise a path without challenges, but it guarantees a new way of walking. It shows that in every moment, you are already part of the whole, already connected to wholeness. This remembrance is the key to living with peace, courage, and abundance. From your first breath to your last, the mantra never leaves you. Recognizing this is awakening to your true identity. Infinite, eternal, luminous. So practice. Sit in silence. Observe your breath. Allow the inner sound to appear. Don't expect perfection, just consistency. Over time, each breath will be a reminder that you are already complete. Soham is there, inside you right now,